In this video, we'll look at how to set up dependencies, delay until dates, events, and deadlines. These are scheduling features that you can use to maintain an accurate schedule and stay on top of risk in your plan. Let's start with dependencies. Setting a dependency ensures that a given task does not start until the preceding task is completed. In LiquidPlanner, setting an explicit dependency isn't always necessary if the tasks are owned by the same person. As you can see here, I need to shoot the video and then I'll edit the video. Since these tasks are listed in priority order, LiquidPlanner already calculated the schedule so that the expected finish date on my shoot video task syncs up with the expected start date for the edit video task. Setting dependencies does become necessary in most project plans, so here's how you do it. Take a look at these two tasks. I am scheduled to write the script, and Anne will edit the script. Anne is scheduled to do her task right away simply because she has availability to do so. Since I have a lot of higher priority work, my task to write the script isn't scheduled to start until next week. In this case, I need to set a dependency between these two tasks. To set up a dependency, I'm going to double-click on the Write Script task to open the Edit panel, and then click this icon to be taken to the Dependencies section. I want to make the Edit Script task a dependent on my task here, so I'm going to click on the Add button in this section. Now I can find Anne's Edit Script task and click OK. I'll need to refresh my schedule to see the changes. Notice the schedule bar for Anne's task is pushed out to respect the dependency. There are also these blue icons indicating a dependency is in place. Now Anne's task will not be scheduled until my task is done. Let's see what happens when a dependency is satisfied. I'll mark my task done by right-clicking on it and selecting Mark Done. The first thing you'll notice here is that my task dropped out of view. That's because the default filter state in LiquidPlanner is active items only. You can change that if you need to. When I recalculate my plan, now you can see that Anne's task is pulled in, and the dependency icon has changed from blue to clear. That's the sign of a satisfied dependency. Anne is now able to start working on her task. Keep in mind that if there are multiple owners on a task, you have additional scheduling options that allow you to define the sequence of work. Watch our video called Multiple Owners on Tasks to learn more. Let's move on to the next scheduling feature, Delay Until. Take a look at my layout and design task here. The schedule bar pop-up tells me it will start on January 20th, but I'm waiting on my client for image content and they said it won't be ready until January 23rd. So I'll put a delay on this task. Double-click on the task to open the Edit panel. Here's the Delay Until field where I'll set my delay date. Again, I'll refresh to see my updated plan. Here's my delayed task. The triangle icon represents a delay. Keep in mind, the delay means the layout and design task will not start any earlier than the 23rd, but it doesn't guarantee that it will start on that date, because once the 23rd rolls around, if I still have higher priority work assigned to me, LiquidPlanner will schedule me to complete those tasks before I get started on my layout and design task. Here's another thing to keep in mind about the Delay Until feature. Even though I still have lower priority tasks scheduled after my layout and design task, the Delay Until doesn't cause this lower priority work to get delayed until January 23rd like you might expect. We call this flow around scheduling. I didn't set a dependency between this higher priority delayed task and my following work. And since LiquidPlanner doesn't want to leave idle time in my schedule, it pulls in my lower priority work so I can get started on it in the meantime. Next, we'll talk about adding events in LiquidPlanner. Remember that LiquidPlanner is calculating your project schedule into the future. In order for that schedule to be as accurate as possible, LiquidPlanner needs to know when you're not available. I'm going to create an event for Anne in this events package. To create an event, click on the Add menu. For her vacation, I'm going to choose a full day event, which will block Anne's availability for a full day. I'll give the event a name here, click Add, and now I see the Edit panel for Anne's vacation. I'll assign this vacation to Anne here. When creating an event, this is one of the few times you'll input hard dates in LiquidPlanner. I'll put the start and end dates for Anne's vacation here. I'll close the Edit panel and refresh my schedule. Here's what the full day event schedule bar looks like, a little different from a task. This is going to ensure that there will be no work scheduled for Anne while she's away. Partial day events are used to block your availability at specific times, like when you're in a meeting. This off-site client meeting is already set up as a partial day event. It's a little different from a full day event. Here you'll select the date of the partial day event and then set the start and end time when you'll be unavailable. Any work that normally would have been scheduled for me during this time will now be pushed out. The last feature we're going to look at is the deadline date. A deadline date is a way of marking the date by which you would like to get something done. My goal is to deliver my video project by February 2nd. To mark this as the deadline date, I'll open the Edit panel and select that date here in the Deadline field. When I refresh my schedule, I can see a black diamond on the Project folder schedule bar indicating that I set the deadline at the project level. The gray diamonds indicate that all of the tasks inside of the project inherited the same deadline. Notice I have some red in my plan now, and this is exactly why you want to use deadline dates. LiquidPlanner is alerting me to the fact that my project work is going to run past the deadline. But since it alerted me in advance, I have plenty of time to assess my schedule and adjust. Make sure you look at your plan and see which tasks are at risk. LiquidPlanner specifies the actual tasks that are running past the deadline, and they will also be in red. This task down below is putting my whole project at risk. If I click on this flame icon, it opens the Edit panel with a written description of the risk alert. When you find yourself in this situation, it's up to you to run through the likely scenarios to bring things back in line. Here are some things to think through. First of all, always check your estimates. Your estimates are driving your schedule dates, so make sure they're accurate. Is the remaining effort overinflated for any estimates? Second, determine if you have another resource who can take on some of the work and get it done in time for the project deadline. Third, take a look at priorities. If you're juggling multiple concurrent projects and sharing resources across those projects, you may need to adjust this person's priorities so that this work gets done sooner. Check out our video, Scheduling Multiple Projects, to learn more about prioritizing tasks from multiple concurrent projects. Finally, consider whether the deadline date is reasonable. Since LiquidPlanner is calculating a realistic schedule, in some cases you may need to reset expectations on a realistic deadline date. The key takeaway is to update your plan with deadline dates as soon as possible so LiquidPlanner can alert you well in advance if any part of your plan is at risk. To maintain accuracy in your schedule, be sure to keep your plan up to date with all of these scheduling options. To learn more about any of these features, visit our help guide for more information.